Three joint replacements before I turned 50, and no one warned me about this part of recovery. I don't have a medical degree. In fact, I have no medical training whatsoever. I am just a woman who's been through it three times, and now I'm living my best life on the other end. So, in this video, what I'm going to tell you is the emotional roller coaster that no one prepares you for, why comparing yourself to other patients is just about the worst thing that you can do. What I wish I knew about the pain, especially how post-op and pre-op pain are apples and oranges. Why sticking to your pain regimen is non-negotiable. And finally, the one thing that I did different between surgery number one and surgery number two that sped me up faster than anything I could ever say. First, and probably one of the most important that nobody talks about, is the fact that you have an emotional roller coaster that you're about to get on because your routine is off. You're likely not going to work. I wasn't going to work. You're not running errands. You're not seeing people like you once did. In fact, all of the things that you're used to doing are out the window. Your sleep is also disrupted and your eating is inconsistent at best. I didn't want to eat at all after my surgery. And to top it all off, your body is in pain or discomfort. You're just not living comfortably. So you're limited in motion. You're limited in independence, which for me was a huge thing. All of that weighs really, really heavy on your spirit, on your mental capacity. Plus, you're watching your friends and family around you live their lives when you feel stuck. You're stuck at home. Maybe you can't go do the things that they're doing. This isolation is especially hard when the initial help fades. I remember that moment precisely. It was my husband's first night back at work. He took 6 weeks off for my knee replacement, and he was back at work with my friends. Incidentally, we worked at the same place. He was gone for 12 hours. So I was home by myself for 12 hours. I could manage fine physically. But the mental, I didn't have anybody to talk to. My friends were all at work. So it was really playing this mental game of how I'm going to keep myself active, right? So the emotional roller coaster has a lot of different components, but it needs space here because it is probably the most important. Number two is why comparing yourself to other patients will steal your sanity. And this is because your circumstances could be totally different. They could be older or younger. They could be less mobile or more mobile. They could be a lot younger, but super hyper fit, right? Our genetics, our flexibility, previous fitness levels, and pain tolerance vary dramatically from person to person. That makes everybody's recovery path completely different. And it's literally shaped by your lifestyle, your past injuries, or even their mindset, your mindset, my mindset, all completely different. What helped me is when I stopped measuring myself by somebody else's milestones. I'm not kidding you. I walked into PT one day and there was a gentleman who looked like he was just post-op. I mean, he still had his post-op dressing on, and he walked back to my physical therapist. Here I am at 3 weeks on my walker trying to even just manage, and this man is walking heel to toe completely fine. My physical therapist said that that gentleman was 1 week out. Could you imagine if I compared my story to his? Number three, what I wish I knew about pain. Okay, so pre-op pain and post-op pain, when you try and compare the two, it's apples to oranges. Pre-op pain often builds over years, so your knee is likely degenerated and you've been living with that pain and tolerating it for at least, for me, it was 2 years. Mine got so bad, I wouldn't even walk up a curb. I kept looking for the wheelchair access to the sidewalk. The moment I put weight on that knee after my knee was replaced, it was gone, vanished. The bone on bone pain that I knew was completely diminished. I haven't felt it since. So post op pain is different. It's surgical. It's also healing oriented. So your pre-op pain is degenerating, your post-op pain is healing. Number 4, why sticking to your pain management and pain plan is non-negotiable. First of all, pain relief is essential so that you can rehab and go to physical therapy and get that knee doing what it's supposed to in the shortest amount of time possible. So letting your pain get out of control just makes it super hard to move, and movement is key to healing. If you do not have that inflammation under control, bending it is going to be difficult. I noticed this after PT sessions. My knee would double up in size from what it once was, and that would make me lose my range of motion. Temporarily, it would come back, but being proactive about your pain doesn't make you weak at all. It makes you smart. And when you need your pain pills, that doesn't mean that you're going to get addicted to them. Your doctor and your medical team knows you and your tolerance for opioids or any prescription that you have. They are the best ones to talk to about your pain management schedule. It's good to know it pre-op. And then the one thing that I did different between my first knee replacement and my second knee replacement, incidentally, my third joint replacement was my hip, whole different story. The one thing I did different was prehab. I had no idea how much strengthening my muscles before surgery would change the entire outcome of my surgery. The first knee replacement, I believed that there was no way I could build strength. That knee was degenerating. I was overweight. I didn't feel good. Like I was in constant pain. And that belief set me back because I could have done something. There's things I could have done. And when you know, you know. When I finally did, everything shifted for me. So the lesson here is even small steps you can do to strengthen your body before surgery, especially the 3 main muscle groups, which are your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes, are gonna help you like you wouldn't believe. I am not kidding how quickly I was able to get range of motion and extension back. Well, range of motion, let's put it that way. Range of motion back post-op because of the work that I had done pre-op. And I only did a 3-week workout. It's not like I went crazy doing a workout. And look, here's what I have to say. I am not a medical expert. I'm just a woman who's been through this more than once. And I came out stronger because I learned how to approach it differently. If you're navigating a knee replacement, you don't need more fear. There's plenty of that out there. You need someone to tell you the truth and remind you of what's possible because anything is possible. So if this helped you feel a little more prepared and a little more grounded, hit the subscribe button. I'll be here with real talk, mindset shifts, and practical support to help you rise through your knee replacement. And check the links in the description because I have more tools there to help you feel less alone in this.